Hello everyone, this is Mr. Kevin and I will be in charge of presenting mathematics grade 4. So to begin we will relook at a chapter already done by both sections, both the boys section and the girls section, and this is chapter 8, which is about time. Now, apologies, I will not be using the textbooks to explain since the boys' books haven't been picked by their parents. I still have some of the books in the school. Hopefully, we are going to get them given to the parents soon. So, we are going to use the booklet to explain time, which is normally what I can call revision of the chapter. And one of the main things to understand about this topic is that you have to be able to know how to convert time depending on the units that you have there. So on page 27 of your booklet, if you have your booklet, you can see those some of those conversion of units, the definitions. I have made some papers to explain this too. So if you look at this, for example, it is explaining how to convert time from seconds to minutes, where you have 60 seconds in 1 minute, you have 60 minutes in 1 hour, you have 24 hours in 1 day, 7 days a week. We have 52 weeks in 1 year, and normally also we have 12 months in 1 year. So these are some of the ways some of the things you're supposed to understand. Now, to move on, we have to understand about how a clocks work, which is normally what we call telling time. And we have two types of clocks, as you can see from the right here. We have an analog clock and you have a digital clock. So an analog clock is the one that normally use sticks with numbers, and you can see an example of an analog clock here. It normally has 3 hands. We have the thin hand, which is the second hand. Then we have a longer hand, which is the minute hand, and you have a shorter one, which is for hours. And then we have another clock here, which is normally called the digital clock. This one normally uses numbers only, electronic numbers, if we can say so. Now, telling time, you have to understand. In this case, we are going to use an example of an analog clock, because when you have an analog clock, it's normally the most common method of telling time. Now, an analog clock looks like this. I have not put the sticks yet. This is just a chart to explain how it normally looks like. So we have 2 hands, as we said in analog clocks when we are telling time in our books. So we have the minute hand and the hour hand. Now, the minute hand is normally the longer one. The hour hand is shorter than the minute hand. The longer hand, which is the minute hand, normally tells time in minutes, and we normally count from 12 going around clockwise in this direction. So we normally have small sticks. After 12 to 1, we normally have sticks inside like this. So these small sticks will tell the time in minutes. So from 12, the minutes are normally 0. There are no minutes we count there. They are normally 0. Then we count from the sticks after. So this stick counts first minute in an hour. So we are going to count 4 sticks and the main one, which you have a number 1 there. So that number tells us that we have 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Continuing to 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then when you get to 60, it becomes 0 again. That means that when you get to 60 minutes, you have to convert the minutes into 00 and add an hour. Now, we have specific terms that we normally use when we are talking about this. We have 15, which you can also call it quarter. We have 30, you can call it half. Okay, you have 15, you call it quarter, 30, you call it half. So those are the other 2 things you're supposed to understand. Now, we are going to look at examples in the book, and then we continue. So in the booklet, on page 29, we have examples of clocks up there which you're supposed to tell the time, to write the time in these clocks. So we normally, when you're writing the time, we normally write hours, then minutes. So that is like writing on the digital clock. So we start with hours, then minutes. So how do you tell time in hours? Time in hours is told by looking at the shorter hand. For example, I will explain this one. Just a minute. So in this one, the hour hand is between 1 and 2. So we normally say the shorter hand, if the shorter hand is between two numbers, we look at the hour at the number that it has just moved from. So in this one, if you're going to count clockwise in this direction, the hour it is coming from is normally the 1, not the 2. So we are going to say it is 1. So the first number you write is 1. Then you put the colon or 2 dots, and then after that you look at the minute hand. The minute hand is after 2, so you can tell it is after 2, 1 stick after 2. So if it is 1 stick after 2, and if you look back here, we said 2 means 10. 2 means 10. So we are going to count 1 stick after 2. We are going to say that it is 10 plus 1, which will give you 11. To give you 11. So the time is 1:11. Now, looking at another example, I'd like to pick another example. So I can pick the second one to explain this, or the third one. So let me pick the third one because it is showing time on the other direction. The second one will be easier to explain as it is the same as the first one, or I can normally explain the first three, no problem. So in this one, the hour hand is still between two numbers. It is between 9 and 10. So again, if it's between two numbers, you normally pick the number before it, and the number before here is 9. So we write 9, we put the 2 dots, and then we look at the minute hand, which is normally longer, and we come back to this chart of hours. 3 means 15, and the time we have here is after 3. So we know already that we have 15 minutes. So we now need to count the number of sticks to tell the time correctly. We come back and look. If we count after 3, we have 1, 2, 3 sticks. This one is 3 sticks after 3. So we have 15. So it is now 15 plus 3 sticks, which will give us 18. So the time is 9:18. Now to move on, we have the next one. At the same time, you can tell this one is between 3 and 4. So the time is not 4, the time is 3, because the number is between 3 and 4, and at the same time this one has not reached 12. So we can tell that the time is 3. And then the minute hand is between 9 and 10. So it is 2 sticks after 9. And if we come back to our chart again, 9 means 45. This is 45, sorry, this is 45. So 9 means 45. So if it is 2 sticks after 9, it means it is 45 plus 2, which gives us 47. I will leave the rest of the questions for for students to try and answer them by themselves, and then we can give the answers later. We can give the answers later after the students try to answer them by themselves. So we move on to telling time using in words. And if we're telling time using words, there are 2 terms that you need to understand. There are 2 terms that you need to be conversant with, and those are the terms using past and using to. Using past and using to. Now, when do you use past and when do you use to? We use past when the minute hand records minutes. We record 30 minutes or less. If the time is between, if the minute hand is between 1 and 30, we use past. But if the time is after 30, so if the minute hand is after 30 from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. If the time is from here, from 31 to 59 up here, we have 4 more on this side. So if the time is between 31 and 59, we use 2. And when we say 2, we don't count the number of minutes that we already have. So if this is 31, we cannot say it is 31 minutes 2, because if you're using 2, you're talking about the next hour. So you have to count the minutes remaining for you to get the next hour. So we normally know that we have 60 seconds in 1 hour. So what we can do, 60 minutes in 1 hour, I mean. So what we can do, we can make a simple chart where we write the number of, for example, if we have 31 minutes, as we said, 31 minutes, and this is past. So we cannot use that 1 minutes when you're talking about time in words. We are going to look at the number which is less than 30 in this case. In this case, we have to find how many minutes are remaining for us to get the next hour. If you have that 1 minute already, what is the number remaining for us to get the next hour? It will be 60 minus 31, and it's going to give us 29. So we know the number of minutes remaining are 29. So we are going to say it is 29 minutes. So we can write this one in words. So we can say it is 29 minutes to the next hour. In this case, depending on the hour, if for example the time here on the digital clock it was 6:31. If the time on the digital clock was 6:31, so we said we cannot say it is 31 minutes past 6, because we say that past is normally used to record times 30 minutes or less than 30 minutes. So because this number is more than 30, we cannot say past. We are going to say 2. But when we say 2, we don't use 31. We use the number that is remaining to get the next hour, which is 29 minutes. So we say it is 29 minutes 2. We cannot say 6 because it's already past 6. So we're going to say it is 2. The next hour after 6 is going to be 7. So explaining with another example that you have already in the book, that you have already done right now. Explaining back with a question that we have just done. We have done this question, which is we have said it is 3:47, which is 47 minutes, which have already passed 3, but we cannot say 47 minutes past 3 because 47 is more than 30, and as we said, if the minutes are more than 30, we use 2. So we are going to find how many minutes are remaining for us to get to 4 o'clock. So we know it is to 4 o'clock, but we need to find how many minutes are remaining for us to get to 12, where we say 12 is 00. So if we add 13 minutes here, so if we come back to my chart here and write 47 here, we know the time is 3:47. So if it is 47 minutes past, how many minutes do we need for us to get to 4 o'clock? So we know we need 13 minutes. Only 13 minutes. So this 13 minutes is what we are going to use to tell the time. So 3:47 is going to become 13 minutes. And how do we write 13? 13 minutes to 4. And that's how we do it. That's how we do it. So with that information, you can be able to solve the questions that you have down here. So I would like to make some corrections before we continue these questions. So if you look at question number 2, it is written 8:35, and the answers I have just looked at them. I've just gone through them, and normally we know we cannot say this. We cannot say 35 minutes past 8 because we said when you use the word past, we only talk about the time that is 30 minutes or less. So we have changed this answer to make it 25 minutes to 9. So please make that correction in your booklet, and then after that you can be able to record the number. So at the same time, I will do 3 of the questions, and then you can try to answer the rest on your own from on page 29 and ahead on the other page up there. up here you have more questions. So I will solve the first question. As you can tell, this one is 4:20, so we know it is 20 minutes past 4. This is 20 minutes past 4. So we just need to look at the answer that we have there. So you can see very clearly 20 minutes past 4 is here. And then we record the answer there. The answer is D. The answer is D. Look at the second question. We just changed this question, so we know the answer is F now. So we read the answer there. And the third one, 3:30. So this one you can say 30 minutes past 3, or you can say half past 3. You can say 30 minutes past 3, or you can say half past 3. And the answer is in the last page. You have more here. No, it's actually down here. Sorry. It's actually down here. 30 minutes past 3. So we write the answer there. So please try to answer the remaining questions on time. This one's up here, writing times in digital, and also writing the time in words. Please solve those questions and write the answers there. Thank you for listening, and hopefully I will see you in the next lesson. Thank you.